Welcome back, and Owen's here for a business update. Hello again, Owen. So we've got some choppy trading on the Asian markets, but Wall Street looked good going into that Iowa caucus.
Yeah, a little bit flat in Hong Kong and Shanghai, Claire. Both of those markets trading around 0.8% down. The Nikkei, though, has finished the day's trade just in the last few minutes or so, closing up around 1.2%. And as you say, on the eve of that Iowa caucus, Wall Street had a pretty good start to the new year. It was its first official day back. All of the markets there up around 1.5%. So obviously we'll get some idea of what investors think about these various candidates later this Tuesday. But I'd say at this stage of the political game, investors perhaps aren't quite as hung up on who the next president will be as they will be certainly 6 or 7 or 8 months down the line.
Now, you've got some new figures that confirms Europe's economy is running at two very contrasting speeds.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got all these concerns with the UK refusing to sign up to any sort of closer fiscal and budget harmony, and this idea of a two-speed European economy. Well, that's just a theoretical concept at the moment. This is real, and this is happening right now. And new figures from Germany and Spain in the last 24 hours show just how stark the contrast is. Look at the unemployment figures for Germany. Just 3 million people out of work, down to around 5.5%. That's the lowest unemployment rate since reunification 20 years ago. But look at Spain. Their unemployment rate up to 23%, still by quite some margin, the highest unemployment rate in the Eurozone. And the message really and interpretation has been very clear. Whereas Germany went through some very painful labour reforms about 8 years ago and managed to make its labour economy much more flexible. The new Spanish government is really now, only getting to grips with trying to make Spain just that little bit more competitive. Here's the Spanish finance minister.
The figures are bad, they're negative. They show that unemployment is our country's biggest social ill. And obviously, it is the main element of vulnerability in these times for the Spanish economy.
So plenty of food for thought for EU countries weighing up the pros and cons of joining the single currency. Poland is the largest country outside the monetary union. It's supposed to sign up and ditch the zloty under the terms of its EU membership back in 2004. But finding anyone to officially commit to further integration isn't easy. Our correspondent Gulliver Cragg reports in the latest in our series marking the Euro's 10th anniversary.
Shoppers at this Warsaw market find their zlotys don't go as far as they used to.
It's bad. A bit more of this and nobody will be able to afford anything.
When the euro falls, the Polish zloty tends to fall even further, pushing up prices for imported goods.
Wholesale prices are getting higher and takings are getting lower.
Yet neither shoppers nor traders see joining an unstable euro as a solution. They feel Poland's currency independence helped it avoid the worst of the crisis.
If we enter the eurozone, then we might end up with an economic situation as bad as Greece's, Spain's, or more recently, Italy's.
Support for joining the euro has slumped in Poland. A France 24 survey in June showed 53% were opposed to adopting the currency. By November, that had risen to 74%. Yet many economists say Poland needs the stability the euro could bring.
At the moment, Polish people don't know how much they're going to pay each month in mortgage, which is largely denominated in Swiss francs or euros. The exporters benefit from devalued zloty, but they don't know exactly what the exchange rate is going to be.
While the eurozone future is in doubt, though, that stability means little. So when asked when or if Poland will join the euro, National Bank Governor Marek Belka is understandably cagey.
It depends on what happens in the eurozone. If the euro comes out of the crisis strong and shining, then we'll discuss this change.
Until then, it's shining new zlotys that this mint will be producing.
And just while we're looking at coins, if you're a fan of alternative investments and you're a little bit bearish, as are the polls, about the euro, then maybe this is the auction for you later this Wednesday in New York. A whole collection of ancient Greek coins are going on sale, and it's thought they might fetch collectively up to $8 million at an auction in New York. It's got all the symbols of Greek mythology. If you like your minotaurs, if you like your Greek gods and so on, and your Greek legends, then this is the sale for you. But it gives you an idea, really, of just how valuable these coins are. And I suspect there'll be one or two people in Greece wondering if maybe that's the sort of currency they should be trading in rather than the euro right now.
Right, let's now take a look at a few more of the day's business headlines. The US Federal Reserve is to publish its interest rate forecast in an unprecedented move to increase its transparency. The central bank will begin revealing its projections when its next meeting ends on the 25th of January. It means investors and policymakers will have an early start in preparing for future rises in interest rates, which have been close to zero for the last 3 years.
Chevron has lost an appeal over $18 billion of damages it was ordered to pay for polluting the Amazon rainforest more than 20 years ago. The US oil giant lost the case against a group representing 30,000 people in Ecuador who claimed their water supply had been poisoned by subsidiary Texaco. Chevron said after the latest ruling it will continue to appeal to courts outside Ecuador.
And the mobile applications industry has reached a new record after more than 1.2 billion of them were downloaded during Christmas week. Mobile analysers Flurry say the boom was driven by purchases of 20 million new phones and tablet computers running Android and Apple, the two biggest providers of applications. 42% of the total originated in the US, with China in second place, downloading nearly 1 million applications.
I wonder how many of those were Angry Birds. I think I might be one of the few people in the world who's never actually downloaded that or played it. Anyway.
It's pretty good fun.
It's good fun. There we go. You heard it here first here on The Business Show. Next, safe from harm but not immune to massive investment. The future of the French nuclear power portfolio is safe for now after a watchdog ruled that there was no imminent danger in the fall of the Fukushima disaster in Japan. The nuclear watchdog says none of the plants are facing shutdown, but it means that EDF, the French electricity giant, will need to spend heavily to keep them running, and that's likely to mean increased costs for consumers.
Safe, but not safe enough. A French nuclear watchdog says that while none of the country's plants need to be shut down, a massive investment is required to ensure sites can withstand a Fukushima-style natural shock. Amongst measures the Nuclear Safety Authority is demanding, improving the security of spent fuel pools, the addition of a protected core where crisis management teams can operate, and the creation of specialised teams that can act at a threatened site in under 24 hours. But the new measures won't come cheap.
The implementation of these recommendations will require the hiring and training of hundreds of people. It's a heavy financial commitment.
The scale of spending required is a blow to both the cash-strapped government and France's national electricity supplier, EDF. The 80% state-owned company estimates the new measures will cost it around 10 billion euros. The costs are expected to trickle down to consumers too, who could see the price of nuclear-generated energy rise from 46 euros per megawatt hour up to 50 euros. With 75% of France's power coming from nuclear energy, consumers will find it difficult to avoid those price hikes.
That's it for business. Thanks very much, Owen. Now, before handing back to Stuart Norval, a reminder of our top story here on France 24, and that, of course, is the Iowa caucus in the US. The last votes are being counted, and it's practically a tie in the Republican race to face President Barack Obama in November's presidential election. With about 99% of votes counted, Rick Santorum and Mitt Romney have about 25% of the vote each. There are only 4 votes in it at this stage. In third place is Ron Paul. He's got about 21% of the vote. So we're expecting the full results in very soon, and you, of course, can get them right here on France 24. Do stay tuned. Thanks for watching.